waiting for her to join. Please say hello in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. That is always so fun for us to see. And also today is Alyssa's birthday, so wish her happy birthday in the comments or give her a thumbs up because I hope she's having a good day. Join. I've already talked to her twice today. It's one of those days. Hey, happy
Hi,
birthday!
thank you.
How,
Thanks, Gretch.
how's your day? Your day is not that far advanced in the Pacific time zone, but are you having a good birthday so far?
I am having a great birthday. Yes, it's a low key birthday, but there's nothing wrong with that. Planning to order Indian food tonight, which is my favorite.
Oh, good.
Yes, and Jack and Adam have been very nice to me. So
Oh,
it's a good birthday. And
they
I talk to
remember. That's
people and
the first hurdle is did they remember? So that's
yes.
good. And so, Alyssa, also we got a little piece of good news, or a big piece of good news today, which was very auspicious that it fell on your birthday. We won the Webby's People's Voice Award for Happy
Yes.
Birthday
So
podcast.
thank you to all of our listeners who voted. That was
Yes,
such a great birthday present.
yes. We asked people to vote, and everybody really came through for us. So give yourself a big gold star if you voted, because it was a really nice way. We heard first thing in the morning, so it was a really. I knew when I texted you that it would be like a nice way for you to start your day because it's fun to win an
Yes,
award.
that
So
was great. And everyone saying happy birthday. Thank you. I see a lot of people saying happy birthday and
yeah,
congratulations. Thank you for
yeah.
both.
Yeah, so that's a nice way to it feels
Yeah.
like an auspicious way to start. What is it in Game of Thrones? He said, "Whatever a man does on his name day, he will reap the rest of the year," or something like that.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay, well, good then.
yeah, that's what Sansa and the Hound tell Joffrey. Yeah, everything is either an Office reference or a Game of Thrones reference.
Yes.
It's not. It's I don't know what that means. So, Elizabeth, on the podcast tomorrow, we are talking. We are raising a very interesting subject. It would be fun to get people's ideas to weigh in now, which is this idea of hacks for harmony among siblings. Give us a thumbs up if
Yes.
your kids or you and your adult siblings are squabbling, because there's a lot of togetherness right now. There's not school and activities, so maybe kids are playing together more, siblings, but maybe they're also squabbling more.
Yeah. Gretch, I have to say there have been many times over the last several weeks where I have been so grateful to have an only child, because I hear people talking about their kids fighting. Sometimes you can even hear the kids fighting in the background, and it's like,
In a
oh, it is
Zoom
very
call.
peaceful to have an only child.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so our listener had two hacks that she suggested as kind of examples to kind of prime people's minds, which were good. One is the classic, we'll all cut the cake and then you get to pick your piece. So I have to be fair because I have to accept that you get to have first choice. So that's a classic hack, and it's just a very elegant solution to a problem.
Yes. And then the other one was fun. I wish we'd heard it before Easter. It was to suggest that the Easter bunny has eggs color coded for each child. So like green and yellow for one child, purple and pink for another, so that no one's fighting over the eggs. Everyone knows which eggs are theirs.
Yeah, and if you have a big age gap, like Elizabeth, I'm 5 years older than you, and my daughter Eliza is 6 years older than Eleanor. That can be an issue if one child is just like going to be really far ahead in the
Yes.
in some sort of
Yes.
skill-based thing. Somebody says my kids have gone feral.
Mm,
There you go.
that's a good word
They're
for it.
mostly avoiding each other in my house. Oh, so that's interesting. I have four that are 12 years and under. So much squabbling. Wow, that's the mommy Olympics. Well done.
Wow.
That's the
12 years and under. Boy.
yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
tough.
My teenagers are driving me crazy. The oldest age is 19. Yeah. Yeah, someone says different colored eggs. Brilliant. I mean, what I love about both of these hacks is that once it's said to you, it seems so obvious that you're like, I
Yes.
understand why this isn't just something that just came to my mind naturally. And yet neither one of those things would ever have occurred to me. Do people have other kinds of hacks?
Yes.
Ways of dividing things fairly, ways of taking turns, ways of dividing up chores, ways of somebody who's like a nagger or a picker, or somebody who's like, I'm going to come in and mess up your stuff. One wonderful, if you have not read the work of Mrs. Pigglewiggle, Mrs. Pigglewiggle, Mrs. Piggle's Farm, Mrs. Pigglewiggle's Magic, and then hello, oh, happy birthday, no, hello, Mrs. Pigglewiggle, did I say that one? Anyway, there's 4 Mrs. Pigglewiggle books. Each one is brilliant. And if you don't know Mrs. Pigglewiggle, she's a woman who has magic, and it's magic that cures children of like ordinary faults, like tattletaling or whispering or being greedy with their toys, or not doing dishes, or being a picky eater. And they're really, really funny. And they're the kind of thing where they work at an adult level and a child level. So you're looking for something to read aloud that you will love, highly recommend Mrs. Pigglewiggle. Or if you're listening to an audiobook, we have the audiobook and it's brilliant. So if you're looking for something in audio,
Gretch, did I tell you that someone I know, an executive I worked with, his wife is related to Mrs. Pigglewiggle, and she's put out like a new Mrs. Pigglewiggle that's told from the point of view of Mrs. Pigglewiggle's niece, I believe.
Okay, well, if it's Happy Birthday, Mrs. Pigglewiggle, I have that book and have read that book. But maybe it's yet even another. I thought that one was written by her daughter, but I could be wrong.
Well, I think no, this is a new one.
Oh, this is new. Okay,
this is out in the last 2 years.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna check it out.
There's more Mrs. Pickle. Oh, someone says love the denim shirts. Yeah, we got our matching Wrangler denim shirts.
Yes, thank you for noticing. That's
yes. And we should remind everybody that we got these because Sarah and I did a segment on Happier in Hollywood about what to wear in a Zoom meeting with our favorite costume designer, Allison Fanger. And she said she thought the best go-to thing was a denim shirt. And she specifically said a Wrangler denim shirt. And we found them at Nordstrom Rack for $36. So if you're looking, this is what that looks like. If you like it.
Yes. Someone says they do show great texture and color on Instagram Live. Yeah, well, that was part of her point, was that denim has nice texture. And she says a call or two kind of frames your face, and if you're self-conscious about your neck, it kind of has something going on in your neck, so it sort of solves a lot of problems. But we thought it would be kind of a good, like, have a matching. If you went to our live shows, one thing we did is I had leopard print skirt, and Alyssa had a leopard print top, and we got a big kick out of sort of being coordinated. So
yes.
If you are just joining, I'm Gretchen Rubin. This is Alyssa's Craft, the birthday girl herself, and we are the hosts of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast, which we can now say is a Webby Award winner for excellence on the internet. So that was great. And we are talking, someone says, I tried to buy one at Nordstrom Rack, but they were sold out.
Oh, wow. Word has spread.
Because somebody says Nordstrom, here I come. Oh, well, maybe we'll see. It says, somebody says, Liz, did you do the vanilla ice cream test with Jack?
No, because I haven't gotten the ice cream yet. I need to get the different vanilla ice cream. So next time I go to the store. Yeah, it really do that.
Okay, here's one. Okay, my aunt teaches preschool in Colorado. She has a tattle phone her 3 and 4 year old students can use to tattle. It is just an old corded phone, but she found the kids love it. They don't tattle to her anymore. That's a
great idea.
This is the thing, like my all-time favorite parenting book, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. One of the things they say is that if you want to show a child that you're taking what they say seriously, write it down. If they're like, I really want to have a My Little Pony castle, you're like, I'm going to write that down.
Let me write that down.
And you don't even need to say like, and then I will go and buy it or something like that. It's just like they get that if something's important, adults will write it down. And I'm sure they get that, like, if I see something on the phone, that means I mean business. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't even have an expectation that something happens. But it's like, I am registering my complaint.
Yes,
brilliant.
That is great. Someone's asking, what is the vanilla taste test? We were talking about sort of getting in touch with your senses. And one thing our mom had done was have a vanilla ice cream taste test where you taste 3 different vanillas and see which one you like the best. So I want to do that with Jack because he loves vanilla ice cream. And then I will know which one definitively to buy for the rest of the time.
Well, you know, I did that Flavor University at FONA, and we did a lot of taste tests, and like we did one where we tasted every variety of Coke. of Coca-Cola. And then we did one where we tasted chocolate milk made with skim milk, 2% milk, cream. I mean, yeah, cream, or maybe half and half. And then with soy milk. And it's really interesting to take like basic, or like we did with potato chips, barbecue potato chips, and really see like, well, these barbecue are much spicier and these are much sweeter and these are like more delicate. And it is just really interesting because first of all, we don't often dial into our sense that mindfully, but then also to make a taste comparison, because usually if you're eating something, you don't have 3 flavors of vanilla ice cream, because why would you?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought it was so clever.
Oh, somebody says Costco vanilla ice cream is wonderful. Okay, Alyssa, you should have Costco as one of your
yeah, you know, I just signed up for Instacart, Gretchen, which people can't believe, and they go to Costco. So
there you go. Someone says there was a podcast about that tattle phone idea, maybe on This American Life. Yeah, I think another viewer was saying that too. A teacher had one in her classroom, and they recorded the tattles and did a story on it. It was great. Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, tattle phone on This American Life. Yeah, so everybody's got to go check that. Oh, everybody's putting in their favorite ice cream. Okay, everybody, put in your favorite ice cream so that Alyssa isn't just casting about.
Yeah.
What would be interesting to see is how it's related to price. Like if you pay a premium price, is it better? Mom did this fun challenge for Eliza, Eleanor, and me. Because our mother loves clothes. And so she took out 5 skirts and she said, put them in order of expensiveness. And it was really interesting, like to try to figure out, well, do you look at the hem? Do you look at the lining? Do you look at the buttons? Do you look at the fabric? But then they were different enough. It was really fun. It's a really fun exercise to make any kind of comparison like that.
So wait, I want to know, were you able to do it?
We got mostly right, but then we didn't get exactly right. Yeah, it was interesting. It was just like a fun thing to. If someone says Haagen-Dazs, controversial, but I hate ice cream. That is controversial. I don't understand.
That is unusual.
But listen, you have a close friend who doesn't like anything sweet. He must have something in his taste buds.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he does not like anything sweet. Yeah, and if you have ideas of other things that would be fun for taste tests, because I want to do this. This was on my 20 for 20 list, but now obviously I can't do it because of COVID-19. But I want to have taste tests, and I think I want to do. I don't know. I think I want to do milk, and I think I want to do a potato chip, just like a plain potato chip, or maybe pretzels. But I'm also trying to think of like what would be fun, and not necessarily something like cheese or wine, but like a more ordinary product that.
Yeah, someone says to make sure that the taste test is blind, because it's true. They said they're more likely to like something if it's expensive. I think we all fall prey to that.
No, and that is actually true. If you think you like it better, and you do like it better, they've done studies about this with like wine, and actually different parts of your brain light up when you think it's more expensive. So your actual experience of it is different. And they told me at Flavor University that when they do taste tests, they have it in they have these little plastic cups, and if they're doing it properly, they do it with a black cup, and it's in a room that has red light, so that you can't look at something, because often if something is a more vivid color, we think that it has more flavor. And also like if something's red colored in the United States, at least, if something's red colored, we think it's sweeter. If it's greener, we think it's sour. So they have to completely confound what you see, because it does have such a profound effect on how you taste. And this is extensively studied, how vision affects taste. And if you want to read more about this, one day I am writing a book about it. And this is like something that I have explored a lot, because it's super fascinating. You think you just experience the world the way that it is. 100%. That is just not the case, in just all sorts of fascinating ways, where our brains are just tinkering with information all the time. If you were just joining us, I'm Gretchen Rubin. This is Alyssa's Craft. We are the co-hosts of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast. It is Alyssa's birthday.
Yes.
We are talking about taste tests, and we are also talking about hacks for harmony among siblings. If anybody else has a hack.
Yeah. Gretchen, I have to tell you, we're always talking about ways to celebrate birthdays and what to do on Zoom. And it was so funny last night, because I Zoomed with a few moms, and they had put up like their background was I stand with the WGA, which is what I have as my profile pic, because I'm very into my WGA loyalty. Yeah. And then some of them like dressed up like me, which I didn't know I had such a specific look until I saw myself like black glasses, hat, puffy jacket. It was so funny because I looked at it and I opened the Zoom and I was like, wait, is that me? I'm not
Really?
wearing that. I was so confused. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Jessica. I'll send you a picture.
Oh, did you take a picture? Oh, that's so funny. That is so fun. What a great idea.
So anyway, dressing up as someone, if they have a distinctive look, which apparently I do, is a fun way to celebrate a birthday.
That's so interesting. I wouldn't have thought of you as having a distinctive look, I guess. But I mean, now that they say it, they do. I guess that's why I'm writing a book about the body and the senses, because I don't notice anything. I'm like, my own sister has a distinctive style, and I didn't even know. Oh, somebody says, I want to do a Pringles taste test and make my kids guess the flavor. I'm fascinated by Pringles. Pringles are, because they are so uniform, they are uncanny. And I haven't had a Pringle in a long time. Pringles. But I was thinking I want to buy some Pringles and think about them. Okay, here's another, just if I can turn everybody into my research assistant, give me any suggestions for something in this category. Is there a food that you can think of that kind of confounds the senses or plays with our expectation of the senses, or like super stimulates our senses? For instance, Jiffy Pop. We were talking about Jiffy Pop, and Jiffy Pop is like, there's so much going on with the Jiffy Pop, the mind is blown. Or aerated cheese, aerosol cheese. What's that? Or like whipped cream in a can. It's like, oh, that is so crazy. It like feels like super special. Highly processed, ultra processed, but still very cool. Pop rocks. That is such a sensation. Anything like that, because I am creating a list of like sort of things that
Ceviche, someone says.
Oh yeah, okay. Someone says raise children to be a team, not competitors. Yes, we can all get on board with that. The question is how? How do you raise your children as a team, not competitors? That is a great.
Someone just suggested if you're getting into like a bad situation, force everyone to say 3 nice things about each other. So it usually ends with them laughing. So that's Andy Cohen does that with the housewives on his late night show, Watch What Happens Live, and it is hilarious because they'll say very backhanded things like, well, she has nice wigs, or
yeah. Someone says I made my 2 daughters stay in a closet until they could say 3 nice things about each other. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, staying in a closet, that like adds a little element to it.
That's hardcore.
Taste test for boxed brownies or cake mix. That's a good idea. Somebody says consult the book Siblings Without Rivalry. Excellent advice. That is actually written by the people who wrote How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, Maislish, and can never remember the name of the other co-author. If anybody remembers, put it in. I think it's Adele Maislish and then somebody else. Yes. Siblings Without Rivalry, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. And what's the name of the third one that I love? I forget the name of the third one. Anyway, it's great. I write about all these on my site, so you can just like search for that. But yeah, Siblings Without Rivalry is a wonderful book. Faber, thank you. Faber and Mason.
This is funny, Gretch. Someone says if they tattle or fight with each other, they have to sing it.
That's good. That's kind of like the thing where if you're fighting with your spouse, you're supposed to hold their hand, because it just sort of, but the singing, that's great. I like that. I like the whimsy of that.
Yes, I was going to say it is a way to introduce some whimsy.
Yes.
It's a way to
it's sort of operatic, because you know how children are sort of like overly dramatic. It's like, and then she jumped on the bed,
Oh, Gretch, someone's saying Dippin Dots for like a confounding. Have you ever had Dippin Dots?
Yes, that is a great suggestion.
They're dots that turn into ice cream.
Yes, they have this at Worlds of Fun.
Yes, Jack loves Dippin Dots.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's something that's like, what is this?
Well, you know what I love is olives that like explode in your mouth.
What?
Like it's like nouveau, that cuisine. I forget what it's called. That where things are not what they seem, or they're. Anyway, you can have an olive that's been like liquefied, and so you bite into it, and explodes.
Wow. I mean, yeah, well, yeah. If anybody knows the name of that, tell me, because exploding olive, I'm not sure it's going to get it to me. Somebody said confetti box cake. Yeah. Yeah, Dippin Dots.
Oh, astronaut ice cream. That's a good one.
That I haven't had.
Oh, well, I get that for Jack all the time. It's basically freeze-dried ice cream.
Ah, okay. If you're just joining, I'm Gretchen Rubin. This is Alyssa with Crap. We're the hosts of the Happier with Gretchen Rubin podcast. And right now we're talking about what is food that is like kind of confounds the senses, because I'm keeping a list. And I should mention, by the way, we are going to this new, starting next week, we're going to be twice a week. Tuesday is going to be me with a guest. And on Friday, Alyssa will be back with me. And that's going to be an Ask Us Anything. And we'll sort of talk about things that came up in the podcast. But this week, tomorrow, I'm going to be talking to Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. He has a great podcast and a lot of great books. And he's a doctor who actually sees a lot of patients and is super thoughtful about how to be happier and healthier. And I'm a big fan of his work. And then on Thursday, we're talking about our book club book.
Yes. So we have a special Thursday edition to talk about David Sedaris's Me Talk Pretty One Day.
Yes. Yes.
So
you
can't wait to hear your thoughts, Scratch.
Yes. You, is them's the thoughts of cows?
Yeah. Molecular gastronomy. Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't think of it.
Unfortunately, I have like a pen and paper here. This is like the world is my research assistant is my motto. Molecular.
Someone commented we're always talking about food. I think a lot of that is because you're very interested in taste right now.
Yes. Yeah, I am. I'm very interested in taste right now, and it's kind of experimenting with taste, or sort of exploring the edges of taste, and then on Friday again. So Thursday is Me Talk Pretty One Day discussion, and then Friday we will be doing the Ask Us Anything, and we'll talk a little bit about what we talked about in the podcast. Someone says, because we're also talking about hacks for sibling harmony. Someone says, I found that if I prohibited them from speaking to each other, they couldn't help but get together and make up. Reverse psychology. That's very Parent Trap.
Yes. It's like make yourself the bad guy.
Yeah. Freeze-dried strawberries. Wow. I don't know what that is.
That's probably on the same lines as the astronaut food.
Well, people say Costco has them. No, Target sells them.
Fried green tomatoes. That reminds me of one of the best things on the planet, deep fried pickles. I mean.
Where did you have a deep fried pickle?
In Kansas City, of course, at a barbecue at the barbecue place Jamie likes. Char.
In
Westport.
Yeah. Oh, I have not had a deep fried pickle that I can recall. Does a corn dog confound the senses? I guess not. It kind of does. A dip cone, like a Dairy Queen dip cone, almost confounds the senses, but not quite. I don't think it goes quite far enough. Yeah. Oh, everybody knows molecular gastronomy. Magic Shell. I think Magic Shell is like, isn't that basically the same thing as a dip cone and Dairy Queen, but maybe more.
Yes.
Yes. Who is older and who is taller of you two sisters? I want to know. I am older.
And I'm taller.
And she's taller. She's quite a bit taller. And I'm quite a bit older.
Someone's asking if you're on a podcast tomorrow, Gretchen. Someone says, what is the name of the podcast you're on tomorrow?
I can't remember.
Okay. You can put it.
Yeah.
If it comes to you, shout it out.
Yeah. I'm kind of like lost in space. Someone says, this isn't a food, but cornstarch mixed with water is confounding. It's solid when you pick it up, and then it runs through your fingers. Well, I know about squeaking cornstarch, but I didn't know about this thing about mixing it with water. So I want to try that. If you want to, sorry, hang on. Whoa, something crazy just happened. Tonic water with a black light. It glows. Oh, that's interesting. Cotton candy. Yeah, cotton candy. That's a good one. Cotton candy definitely confounds.
Oh, Gretch, Mom is saying hi. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Mom was reminding me when I was born, we moved like 6 weeks or 5 weeks from Jefferson City to Kansas City, like 5 weeks after I was born, which we were saying is just an insane notion.
Yes, in a
to
car.
move with a 5-week-old. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do kind of. I remember you being born, and I kind of remember. Didn't we drove like from Jefferson City to Kansas City?
Yes.
Like with the newborn baby. Oh my gosh. Somebody.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, she also reminded me that Dad had promised to take you to Six Flags, and we hadn't gone yet. And so before we moved, I guess, or on the way, I don't know, we went to Six Flags, and I was like 3 weeks old. And Mom was holding me. I mean, can you imagine? I was like, I couldn't even get out of bed 3 weeks after I gave birth, much less like spend 8 hours.
Well, and pack everything up too. I know.
Flags.
That's either so they keep their promises. That does not surprise me. That someone says, did your Insta Live schedule change this week? Were you live yesterday? Yes, we are changing our Insta Live. So starting next week, we're going to be Tuesday, Friday. Tuesday, me with a guest. Friday, Elizabeth and me together. Doing Ask Us Anything. But this week, today is this. Tomorrow is me talking to Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, who's really insightful and great doctor, talking about how to be happier and healthier. And then Thursday, we will talk about David Sedaris's Me Talk Pretty one day. And then Friday, it'll be back to Ask Us Anything.
Good. Someone says they're going to try some of these techniques tonight.
Yes. Well, see, this is the thing that I think is going to be what I hope is going to be fun about this book that I'm writing is that at the back, there's going to be all these exercises and things that you can try. Like there's fun videos. If you have never gone, there is a certain cognitive phenomenon that if you would like to experience it, which is very fascinating and fun, you can go to invisiblegorilla.com. And it's got videos there that are exploring this certain kind of cognitive phenomenon. They're super fun. And here's the thing. If you think you know what the video is going to show from the name Invisible Gorilla, look at the videos because they have outfoxed you. So look for the one that won the award. I think, what's it called? I don't remember it, but there's one that's like, I think it's the second one down. There's like the original one. Then there's like a new and improved one. The new and improved one, check it out. But then there's several other ones that it's about inattentional blindness. And so anyway, invisiblegorilla.com is super fun. And
by the way,
kids would like it too.
People are thinking we were on yesterday. We were not on yesterday, so nobody missed anything if they didn't log on. We're just the schedule changed this week. It's just this week is a little funky because we have the book club and Oh, and we should mention that we're announcing the happier the podcast book club, which is the one where we have the author on the podcast and we spend the entire episode talking about the book, and we are so excited about the book. Yes,
there it is. It's The Dutch House by Ann Patchett, and so many people have already weighed in to say how much they love the book. So as soon as you have questions or comments or things you'd like to bring up with Ann Patchett, we're going to be talking to her in July. So just write to,
there goes the phone.
Hashtag Happier Podcast Book Club, and then we'll gather questions and comments. Someone says, I know your mom recommends showering if you're having a bad day. I've showered in the darkness a few times and it's really cool. That's interesting.
I've done that before too, and I really need to just like relax my mind. Yeah, and it's very cool. Well, someone says, is the Dutch house dark? I don't think so. It's really about a brother and a sister, and they have a great relationship. So I didn't find it to be dark at all. It does have a type 1 diabetic in it, which I greatly appreciated.
Yeah. It's big things happen, but it feels
hopeful.
It doesn't feel dark, and it's really anchored in a very, very, very deeply loving, supportive relationship between a brother and a sister.
Yes. And it's also about how resilient we are in terms of both like just getting through things and in terms of relationships can sort of be
Yes.
damaged, but then they can come back
Yes.
together
That was
and
one
be
of my
stronger
favorites.
than
Yes.
ever. So
I want to
it's
talk
very,
about that. Exactly that point. I know exactly the character that you were thinking of, I bet. Oh, and
yeah.
a couple people are saying that the audiobook is outstanding, and it's Tom Hanks performing the audiobook. And many, many people have told us how much they've enjoyed the audiobook. So if you are like in an audiobook mode. Oh, and we should also mention Ann Patchett, and also in addition to being a brilliant writer, she is the co-owner of a very beloved indie bookstore in her hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, called Parnassus Books. And so if you were inclined to order your book from Parnassus Books, that would be a lovely thing. Or of course you can order from your local indie. All these people are saying, oh, thank you for the web. Congratulations on the Webby. That's great. Okay. Now it's time for the accountability check-in. Yes. I did order my denim shirt, so I get a gold star. So what do you want to be held accountable for? Put it in the comments so we'll have our eyes on you. And what do you get a gold star? What have you been doing? So a couple of people have been on major yoga streaks and meditation streaks. A lot of people with their walk 20 and 20. Alyssa, you've been walking 10,000 steps.
Trying to. Not every single day, but almost every day. Yes.
Yeah. You were going to try to move your treadmill desk into your office. Or is that just in the offing? That wasn't something.
That wasn't an accountability. My accountability was to take notes for my theoretical novel, which I did. I've been taking notes. I've talked to you about it.
Yes.
I'm also
so excited
reading.
For this book.
I'm also reading novels for inspiration, because of the type of book I want to write. So right now I'm reading Jennifer Weiner's Big Summer.
Yes.
I'm enjoying.
Look, all these people are being productive, cleaned out the pandemic junk food. Ooh, back to healthy food, sleeping more, taking multivitamins.
20 and 20.
1 line a day. That's great. Reading so much more. I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and boy, it feels good.
I do think finally, whatever is happening, we're all in different stages and phases of what this whole situation. But I do think in general, people seem better able to concentrate.
Yeah.
And sort of less anxious, although maybe more anxious in other ways. But I do think at least we're able to concentrate better.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up if that's been your experience. That's definitely been my experience, where it kind of has come in waves of me being able to like really pull my attention deeply into something else. And it's frankly just like the most enormous relief to just be able to be in a different place in my head.
And I finally reached news saturation after all this time. I'm like, okay, I've listened to enough. Now I don't need to listen all the time. It took like 10 weeks, but I got there.
Yeah. Because somebody says we're walking several times a day. Some family walks and some alone, trying to get 10,000 steps. This is great. Look at all of these gold stars and look at all these.
Nice job, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, and that's going to be a really fascinating conversation. We'll probably talk mostly about health because he is a doctor. And he's got a great podcast too, so I'll ask him about that. I think it's Feel Better, Live Longer, but I might have it slightly wrong. I'll have it correct tomorrow for sure. I have it in my library, but when you look at it, I just see the picture.
Yes.
I don't. And we want to give a big gold star again to everyone who voted for us. We won the Webby People's Voice Award, and that's really exciting. A great birthday present for Elizabeth.
Yes, it sure was.
Yes. So wow, somebody says I worked out every single day in the 70 days of quarantine. Wow. That's like a nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see you anon. And finish David Sedaris's book if you are in the home stretch. It is hilarious.
Yes.
And
Me Talk Pretty One Day.
Me Talk Pretty One Day is them the thoughts of cats. In the meantime, keep your hands clean and our minds clear. Bye.
Bye.